Culture evolves at the speed of light, just like your financial needs. When it comes to your money, Credit Karma keeps you in the know and ahead of the game. You can count on Credit Karma to keep up with your financial needs as they evolve. We'll help you monitor your progress and give personalized recommendations so you can make strides towards your goals and find your way to money. Make sure you're on the right track, no matter where you are on your financial journey. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Okay, so we're here. We're finally here. Kail, you're on Cate Ty. Break it down.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited too because we're working together again, and I didn't know if I would ever see you guys like in person again.
I know. And here we are.
And you guys trusted me enough to even ask me for advice, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like this is my bread and butter.
Well, it's funny because I'm like, all right, let's reach out to Kail and ask her about it, and then all of a sudden it just turned into like we had no intention of like, oh, we'll work together and do this.
You weren't going to sign to my network?
Well, at first we just
no,
wanted
Kail
advice.
was not. I didn't know
Really?
what was going
You were
on.
going to?
Hell no. We were like,
well,
what?
like that wasn't our first thought. Honestly, it was more or less like, she's really good at what she does. She's a friend of ours. We like Kail, like I'm gonna ask her some advice.
Yeah.
And then eventually it progressed that way, and I said we would be stupid not to.
I was like,
I'll help you guys out in any, like literally, any help you guys need, like that's what all of us are here
Well, it was
for.
authentic.
And you've always been like that. So I was like, well, it'd be stupid not to do all of this.
I also think that I have paid my dues in the podcast community, and where like I have been through 3 networks, and the first one I went through, there was like lawyers and litigation and things like that, and I understood that. A lot of podcasters enter the podcast world and don't own their content. And so signing to my network, I fight for anyone that signs to Killer to own their own stuff. So if you decided you're not happy with me, you take all your shit with you.
Right.
I'm not going to try to capitalize off of your shit.
Which is awesome. That's what I mean.
Shit. Yeah. I'm not going to try to capitalize off of what you have built.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so because I went through that, that's been really, really important to me. Like, even if someone chooses not to sign with my network, like, go somewhere where you're going to own all of your content and you get to take that with you and you can't be replaced. Because a lot of times what will happen is they'll say, oh, you built Break It Down? Perfect. We'll change the names and add 2 new hosts.
Wow.
And they'll use all of the audience that you built and put someone else there. And so I advocate for that to not happen.
Well, that's why when we reached out, it was like just out of advice at first. And then you were like, I mean, this is what's going on. I'm like, all right, well, it seems authentic enough. And what else, what do I have to lose? You know what I mean? So
plus,
it's like,
Ty and I, we've known you for years, and there's been many moments where it's just been us and you, and we've talked about deep things, and you're just a very authentic person. And, so I was like,
well, I'm just glad that we all got to work together. I think that a lot of people also think that I burnt bridges with MTV and like don't.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Because there was a scene. Where's Larry? There's an iconic scene where I'm in my one of my podcast studios, and I like flip Larry the bird. But it wasn't. I think people perceive it however they want to perceive it. I wasn't flipping Larry off. You know what I mean? And so people think that I burnt the bridges with MTV, and then I don't have relationships with like you or Macy or.
Well, who are you flipping off?
I think just in general, like I was just like fuck this sort of deal, not sort of like fuck Larry or fuck MTV. It was just like I was not in a good state of mind, but it was just sort of like fuck everything.
Well, because in reality, it's like how could you even realistically say fuck MTV? Because it's like we wouldn't have what I have without it. I mean, so I was like,
but that's the thing. They're like, well, Kail she has to remember where she came from. No, 100% I do. And I give flowers and I give credit where credit is due all the time. I understand that MTV is where I started. I understand that. But I also feel like some of the cast, this is no shade to anyone.
Yeah.
Some cast members take that platform and launch and propel themselves into different directions, and some don't.
Absolutely.
And so to say that I still owe them something when I've said thank you, I've paid I've done all the things. I've literally exploited my entire life. I also deserve credit for propelling myself with the platform.
Yeah, and what you have done with that platform. So
people think you still owe, you're saying that people...
Like I should still be...
Thankful? I mean, I think you are. Yeah.
That's like never going to go away.
Right.
But
it takes away... I was going to say, and it feels like that they take it away. Yeah. When they're not seeing what you have done to really, like you said, propel yourself to bigger things.
It's sort of like when Ty was talking to us about how like people getting mad at him for your decisions and your power and your choices. Yeah. It's sort of like that. Like, I know where I came from, but I also have sort of paved the path for other opportunities.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And thank you to MTV for giving me the start. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And like you said, that'll never go away. And I think that's normal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're out here bashing MTV or trying to, you know what I mean?
I get mad sometimes.
Yeah. Who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't?
Sometimes.
Who doesn't? I get,
But when you think about our show, I mean, as far as Teen Mom goes, it's the only one that's out there that's like this. I mean, nothing has been followed this diligently, this long, this intense, because we're not a party show. We're not housewives. We are like us, nitty gritty, middle of trauma, parenting, and just
100%.
Marriages, divorce. I mean, the whole thing.
Mental
and I feel
health,
like for you,
addiction.
for you, that was a big thing. It was like all your relationship stuff.
All of that, even my friendships, which was something that Macy and I talked about while we were here. Was
okay.
Like, I said all of my falling outs with friends, or even just like separating from friends, were so public because they were such a huge part of my story on MTV, which they're a big part of my life, like in general. Do
you regret like having your friendships be so involved in the TV world? Do you? Okay.
Not in a way that I don't regret the friendships, but I think having them so publicized, but I don't have family members that can be on the show.
That's exactly what my thought was.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do when you want me to have a conversation? It was sort of like, and I hate to say this, but like Farrah really didn't have anyone.
Right.
So that's when if I remember correctly, that's when they started having to break the fourth wall with her producer, because she literally didn't have anyone to talk to.
Right.
So it was either that or I was talking to friends. And so I think in that way, like, obviously I needed to have those conversations, but at the same time, I do think that it changed the dynamic and the intentions of the people that I was talking to. Was like, it either didn't start off authentic and genuine, or it turned into something where they wanted to have a following. They wanted to get paid. They wanted to
something out of it.
100%. And I think that's where a lot of them sort of went wrong, where Becky and I don't have that same story, which you guys already met Becky earlier. It was like a very different sort of situation that happened.
Well, and I remember Becky from years ago, meeting in New York City, hanging out, you know, like I do. Yeah.
And then you guys had a falling out, but it wasn't really publicized by TV cameras, right?
No, we actually never talked about it. We fell out, and it was like very apparent publicly. But I think just having my friendships so public has been really rough.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with any of those people that you had a falling out with publicly on camera? Oh, really?
Anyone that has publicly said something about me, you are dead to me, and I will never look back. The fact that Becky never went public about it, I feel like we can grow and we can progress and we can rekindle. But anyone else, if you've said anything publicly about me or are falling out, I will never speak to you again.
Because I think it speaks to somebody's soul and their authenticity and their who they are as a person.
100%.
Right? You know, like people who truly love us and are actually really good people and aren't using us to get something wouldn't go to the media,
100%.
Wouldn't sell things, wouldn't, publicize
which is why we literally have the same friends that we've had since we were in middle school.
And because none of them ever, their motives never changed.
Exactly. And it's super hard when you're on television or just in the spotlight at all to make new friends, because I don't trust people.
And you know how that is.
But I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So I will not trust someone and still let them in, because I want to believe they're going to prove me wrong.
Right.
Has anyone in your life asked you for money?
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I've actually helped a lot of people that I never would even go public with it, because it was my intention was literally just to help you out.
Right.
But.
Oh, yeah. We get asked for money all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The closest people to me have never asked me for money.
Oh, the closest people to me have asked me for money.
Yeah.
It's the people that I'm not close with that have asked for money.
That's weird.
Isn't that interesting?
That's weird.
Becky was offered like $10,000 to sell me out.
Wow.
Sell you all how?
We talked a little bit about that.
Oh, to just okay.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I didn't get to sit in on the episode. Okay, so for anyone listening to this episode, I am helping Caitlin and Tyler launch their podcast, and I'm just here to support you guys in any way I can. So if I ever take over this podcast, just stop me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so I wasn't there for the recording with Becky, but what did she say?
She said the same thing, how people were reaching out to her and companies were reaching out to her and saying, hey, we'll pay you this, we'll pay you that. And she's like, and that was never part of what I would want to do. She was like, it was just more of, hey, we're not talking, and that's what it is. She was like, it didn't bring any interest to me. And she said it actually bugged her a lot that all these people were reaching out to her, wanting her to talk about things.
Well, even other friends that I fell out with, she said reached out to her to try to
what? See, that's weird.
Be friends and bond over hating me.
Well, those people I feel aren't really true friends, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But I feel like with our friends, I genuinely not that they asked for money, but they were just, I'm not going to watch you suffer.
100, but that's different.
And right. They're not like, hey, I need money.
Right, no.
Even though I have, it's like, no, I refuse to watch my tribe suffer. And if I can do something about it, I will do something about it, because me and her, and some people, even my mom was like, why would you do that? And it's like, Mom, it's just money is money. It comes and it goes. I could die tomorrow and it's gone. It's worthless.
And to me, it's like when I do see a friend of mine that's a single mom that is working her ass off to try to do her best, and she is struggling to make, to find a place of her own. It helps me feel good to know that I'm helping my friend who is working her ass off and doing all the right things, but just not being able to catch up.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also makes
when I'm sitting here in a home with all 3 of my kids and they have food and they have toys and they have all the
more
things.
than enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Last year we did, for Barely Famous, we did a Christmas give back where it was like clear the list, but people submitted their stories for why they needed help. And I made my kids help me read them because I wanted my kids to understand why we needed to help other people, and them reading some of these stories I feel like made such an impact on them. And so if there's ever a time that you guys want to ever
that's beautiful
come together to do something like that, like we do it every year for Clear the List, like back to school and also for Christmas.
Yeah, for the teachers.
See, Ty and I are very like, I do I've done
adopt a family.
And I do it for like Thanksgiving dinners. People think that everybody can have a Thanksgiving dinner. That shit's expensive.
Yeah.
And I've taken Nova with me where we go and we get the food and we take it to the person. Nova helps me bring the groceries in, and these people like cry.
Yeah. And Nova gets to see it.
Christmas dinners. We've adopted kids, and because you should give back to people who need it.
And also, like, as far as a lot of our friends were just kind of living the same childhoods that we did. So, like, when they're doing all the right things, like, we've gotten them houses. We've helped them get
You've
cars.
gotten people houses?
I mean,
like trailers.
But still. But yeah, all right.
But our friend, though, like, we helped her, we helped her get a trailer, but she paid us back. Like, and that was the thing she wanted to do.
All the time. Yeah.
And she, every time she got taxes, she sent us the money, and eventually she paid it back.
6 years, but
I'm fine with that.
I had someone where I helped them pay off college, and she was like, I'll pay you back. She got her MTV check and bought a car. A new car. She already had one. She went on a cruise with her boyfriend. I was like, okay.
Is this a former friend?
Yeah. I mean, we never had a falling out. We just never spoke again. But I mean, she did things. She never paid me back.
Really? Wow. Hey, whatever.
I probably hasn't thought twice. But it's
your intention was pure. So
and that's the thing. It's like I try to hold on to that, but it's just the point that you said you would pay me back. If you would have never said, "Oh, I'll pay you back," I wouldn't think twice about it. But it's just like.
But yeah, like even recently, we got our friend who just got her child back and we got her a car because she was struggling, didn't have a car, and it's just like, and also letting one of our friends borrow my car. I'm not going to sit there with 2 cars in my driveway and then have someone in my tribe
3 actually,
and not have a car. I'm like, I'm not even driving this. Take it, use it, and they're like, oh my god, really? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like I feel like if you take care of your people take care of you, and it's just like...
And that's how us and our friends are, and we've had them since middle school,
That's so crazy to me. I feel like I've also moved a lot, so it's been sort of impossible.
So you have no childhood friends from when you were, like, young?
I mean, I keep in touch with some, like, on social, or, like, we might text from time to time, but I would say, I mean, I moved a lot when I was a kid up until even recently. I mean, I just moved to Delaware 10 years ago. So any friendships there, but then halfway through, the 10 years, Javi and I got divorced, so the friendship sort of... by default, not by anybody's fault, but sort of separated. And then, so I don't think that I have had even if I wanted to, would have had the ability to like maintain a lot of the friendships just by default.
What is your like longest friendship, like years? Like, well, who's your, I mean, because if you're moving all the time, how do you even connect? How do you like establish?
Right, or stay connected.
That was the hardest part because I didn't get a cell phone until I was 16. So any time that I moved before I turned 16, I couldn't maintain a relationship. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a phone. So it was more like reconnecting once I had a cell phone. But I would say like once I got a cell phone, was able to like reconnect with people. I mean, I've kept in touch. Like I said, I think the longest friend would be, I mean, I've been friends with Kristen for 10 years.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been friends with Becky. I mean, obviously, with the exception of our falling out, about 12 years.
Okay.
And so I've had like long-term friends, but like childhood friends, no. I mean, these are friendships from my adulthood.
Wow. Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have, again, like I don't want to discredit anyone listening to this. That's
right.
Wait, I'm friends with you. Yeah, we're friends, but I mean, like on a really intimate, personal level, I don't think that I have any really childhood friends.
Yeah. So do you feel like? Do you feel like people like get that misconception about you that like, oh, you have so many friends? Because I remember Becky said something about, which I didn't even know. She's like, yeah, Kail always gets this hate for having a revolving door of friends and can't keep like friendships or whatever.
Like, really?
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think on a regular, especially because Baby Mama's podcast is done.
Yeah,
and so everyone just automatically assumed, oh, it's Kail's fault. And so because Kail can't keep a friend, well, I've lost Becky, I've lost Mark, I've lost, there's friendships that I have really, really people thought were a lot deeper than they were, or maybe because of the situation that we fell out or whatever the case may be, it's always my fault. And so that's kind of what I was explaining to you earlier, is that I still have this like very public perception that I am so reactive. I'm so angry. I'm so bitter. I can't keep a friend. I'm always the problem. Like that is still.
You don't come.
I know.
Off
so
like
maybe
that
we're just not in the loop.
So I'm like,
that's what people think of me. Like they truly believe that, and I'm just like, but it's not even like. Even with me and Becky, it wasn't a one-sided situation that caused us to fall out. It was very much a mutual decision. It was not even a decision, but more so like mutual circumstances that caused it. And I think that's across the board for all of them. But for some reason, people just assume it's me.
So, okay. So with the friendships that you had for like 10 years or whatever, obviously you had kids in those 10 years. And so do your friends, they get close with your children, and then your children, I mean, do you have to explain to your kids like, oh, the reason why Becky's not around anymore or whatever, like, you know what I mean?
Becky, I had to explain.
Okay.
Becky, I definitely had to, because she was at my house like every weekend. Because we never, she lives in Jersey and I live in Delaware, so it was sort of a drive, but like we were doing Christmases together. Like, oh, wow. So there was like a huge gap, and we were like, everyone was like, what's going on? But I don't necessarily have to explain. Well, what's fucked up is I had a friend fall out, and then they reached out to Isaac. They were texting him, and I was like, "Oh, you're weird as fuck."
No, yeah. No,
see, like that's where I draw the line. Like now you've got me fucked up.
Yeah.
So,
you're reaching out to my kids. Like what?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, no.
Definitely
off limits.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously,
Mama Bear will come out.
And my first thought is obviously you are not an adult because you're reaching out to a child.
Yeah,
weird.
Like
100%.
that is very weird.
That's so interesting because I feel like Macy's had the same friends, Chelsea's had the same friends. I think Leah hasn't really necessarily had the same friends, but nobody talks about that.
Right.
And I'm not calling her out by any means.
No,
I don't
but
want this to be like shade.
No.
You know what I mean? So I think that there are, but maybe because they're not as big of a part on the show.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said,
that's
like,
what Macy said.
Because you said that like all my friends became this huge part of my TV story.
Because you don't have the family and stuff like that too. Friends is your family.
Which I think me and Kate kind of relate to because we're like, when you come from such a fucked up family, you create your own. You pick and choose your friends.
I got to pick
they
my
become
family.
your tribe, and it becomes almost like closer. I'm closer to a lot of my friends than I ever would be to my family.
Like for your story, you guys would always have each other to talk to if you didn't have somebody else. Where like I wasn't always in a relationship. Wait, what's Blue Monkey?
Okay, so I talk a lot, and whatever. So I go into these tangents. And it leads off into other shit. So
that's why you're gonna make a great podcaster.
I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be talking. Usually when we're driving or like when something's happening.
Or in bed.
Or I'll be, and
like
she's
what kind of bed? Like laying or like having sex?
No, like no.
Just
like
I ain't saying
TV.
Blue Monkey. You're really no.
Like watching TV and he's going on these tangents.
She's like, I'm just trying to watch fat people get surgery. Like you're over here talking about.
Do you watch 1,000 Pound Sisters?
Oh, dude. No.
Obsessed.
She watches.
No, my kids watch it.
600-pound life and lifting and scrubbing and.
I haven't watched my 600-pound life in like 6 months.
She watches toxic shit, dude. Like
I do not. I watch Alone,
stuff.
Naked and Afraid. I watch Intervention. I watch.
All I know is I come in there TLC fat people, bro. And I'm telling right now.
I love 1,000 Pound Sisters. You can't tell me shit about Amy. You can't tell me shit about Tammy.
1,000 Pound Sisters is the one with the heavy brow.
Yes.
All right, sorry, no shade. I'm just listen.
Not the heavy brow.
no. Okay, I just saw a picture.
Dude, we should get them on your podcast.
Okay, come on, Tammy. Whatever you are, but
no, you know what? We're actually gonna. Kate's gonna be the producer, and it's gonna be Ty and Tammy.
Oh, I love it. But back to Blue Monkey.
Okay, back to Blue Monkey. Okay, see what I'm saying? So Blue Monkey is like if I notice I'm talking a lot and I get annoyed at myself in my own head, and I'll look over and I can tell that she's just a head nodder. Okay, she's head nodding right now. He's saying, yeah, oh wow. And so I'll say I'll be like, talking about, oh my God, so maybe we'll build a deck and, in the Blue Monkey thing and then we'll do that. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, that's how I know I need to shut my mouth.
You say Blue Monkey in your sentences
in the middle of a sentence just to see because if you're really listening, you'll catch it and be like, Blue Monkey deck? Like, what are you talking about?
Wait, you do that to your, but you did that? You didn't come up with that?
No, he just does it. I just found out like 3 days ago.
Yeah, she just found it out.
I swear to
God. I said,
no, you didn't.
I swear. I was like, and she's like, what do you say? I say Blue Monkey. Because I know for a fact
I started dying, dude.
Because she knows. She's like, oh, I do check out a lot because you go on these rambling things.
So when you guys are not together for a day, like say you guys are like going separate ways for whatever reason, and he wants to tell you a story of what happened, is he telling you every little detail from start to finish until the point that you're like, wait, I don't understand what the point of the story is?
All right, so Tyler is not so much that part. Like,
okay.
He can say what happened during the day and whatever he's frustrated about, and I'm like, oh my God, wow, that's crazy, and have a conversation. It's more or less when he's on like cloud 9, and let's just say, and he all of a sudden is like, so it always starts off with that. First of all, and it's always like, so we are all part of the star. We have scientists have found out that we have stardust in our genes, and we all come from the stars because the stars explode and the stars were up in space. So actually, we're a part of the stars, and our ancestors are part of all the stars.
Wait, but do we actually have stardust in us?
Yes.
Or you made that up?
No, I don't make it. I'm not telling lies.
And for a while, I'm listening like, oh wow, that's interesting, and then it's just going.
Wait, it's in our DNA
and going.
Your body's made of stardust. Yes.
Are you lying?
Listen, you Google it, girl. Go ahead and Google it. It's solid science. But anyway, that's a good example. Yeah. A lot of the stuff is...
Are we made of stardust? Hold on, let me Google this. I have the pop your pussy like this. Okay. Are we made of stardust? People have Googled this before? Yes, scientifically speaking, humans are considered made of stardust because the atoms that make up our bodies, like carbon, oxygen, and iron, were primarily created inside stars through nuclear fusion before our solar system formed, meaning the material that constitutes us originated from the stars that exploded long ago.
Yep.
There you go.
Why do you know that?
I know, right? Exactly.
That's why Blue Monkey's important, because there's things that I'm interested in where she just is like,
this is when you were on ketamine.
No. Nope.
No, it's not. This is me and my normal brain, okay? It's exhausting up here. So when the
next Inside Out movie is going to be Tyler's brain.
Seriously.
Dude, no. Too many things going on there. But yeah, so it's like a thing that I do.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because I guess I've been doing it for so long, I never thought to have to tell you about it. Because listen, this is why I do it. I do it because I don't want to make her feel like an asshole for me being like, are you listening to me? And she's like, no. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to put the pressure on because I know I talk a lot. It's called accountability. I'm a jibber jabber, whatever.
Right.
And so it's my way of just being like, okay, it's okay. You're going on.
So you're not offended by it?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm exhausted myself.
I love the self-awareness.
I hate.
But then I found out that he used to do it to his mother when he was young.
No.
And that's where it started.
That's where it started.
Did it hurt your feelings when you did it to your mom?
No. Because
really?
I knew
Do you have ADHD?
that
Yes.
Are you medicated?
No, not like that. Not like
but the animation in his face when he talks is everything.
Yeah, I just okay. It's my own way of actually. It's helping you. I don't want to make you feel like an asshole, but did you just hear what I said? You're like,
make her feel bad.
Yeah, because I know myself.
Right.
It's like, shut the fuck up, Tyler.
Right.
God damn it.
The good thing about podcasting is that you're able to shut it off when you feel like it. Because if you over talk, you can just like clip it down.
Which that's great.
Oh, yeah. I need that.
I love that.
We joked about it where Kate's like, I'm about to get you a Tyler red button.
I know, I'm going to get a red button.
Let him do Tyler rants segments.
Oh, that's great.
No.
Yeah,
for mini episodes.
I don't think people want to do
no,
that.
we're going to do the Did You Knows.
So did you know? And Kate's like, oh my God.
We're going to do, because I swear that's how it always starts out.
No, because like, you know how you do your book stuff?
Yeah.
And I was talking about, I read books too. And I was like,
You do? Join book club.
You would not like my books.
Why? What are your books?
The last book
Very scientifical.
Right now I'm reading Leaving Faith, and anyway, it's all philosophy stuff. Like
you should join book club.
Yeah, it's philosophy.
Yeah, but you're reading like some
It doesn't matter.
Romance.
In the club, we're all fam.
I'm just saying. The Immortality Key, I don't think anyone would be interested in the Immortality Key book.
Okay, well,
obviously
I would beg
people
to
are.
differ. Yeah, I would beg. Just
Really?
try it. I'll ask in the book club, and I'll say we have a special guest.
Like right now, I'm reading Deconstructing Leaving Church, Finding Faith, which is a whole thing about But so it's always like I don't follow what do you call it? Like stories.
Oh, like fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They're all like I don't know what you call
Self-help.
No,
Not even self-help. It's more like awareness, like
history.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Society.
Knowledge is power.
Brain. How does the brain work? Think about things.
Yeah,
Very science-y.
Yeah.
And I'm not into science.
You're into fat people on TLC.
I think what it is It's because he always complains that I watch boring TV and there's no like plot and twist to it. I said, to me, I'm like, I am a mom for so many hours a day. And when I get the 4 hours to just do nothing, I don't want to think that hard.
Right. You want to watch brainless, cellless.
Yes.
Like you don't. Just garbage TV.
She can turn it off, and 100%. I cannot turn it off. I'm always
same.
So
I can shut it off. Yeah,
I wish I could. I'm envious.
So
of that.
I like to watch just stuff I don't have to really think.
So
about
when you got 7 kids, so is that what you do? You read your books? Is that how you kind of escape?
I actually just said that to my book club yesterday. I texted in the group because one of the girls is also a mom and she reads as many books as I do, and she was texting about a show, and I said, Nicole, I do not understand how you're a mom, you read and you watch TV. I get to pick between TV or reading books. It's one or the other. It's not both.
Right.
So I was asking, was I asking you guys? Yeah, I was asking you guys how many of the girls are on team. Like, I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Because I just read. I don't even watch TV at all.
We don't even, listen, the only TV we watch is in our bedroom, which I don't even watch it. I'm reading about stars, and she's watching TLC and Tammy. And so I'm like, our TVs are Bluey and Miss Rachel, and that's just what it is. Yeah. Like, so I don't really watch TV. I just read.
Yeah, same.
We have 2 of them at home because Nova is Tyler to a T. The animations, the mind, the thinking. I love that, though. Yes, I do too. I love it about her. You know?
I hope that never changes.
Yeah, same thing. She got out. I told Tyler this. So the one day that he usually does the morning stuff with the kids and gets them up and gets them ready to school, and I always do the nighttime routines. That's how we split it.
Yeah.
And so, but the one morning he didn't sleep well, so I got up with the kids. Nova, 6 o'clock in the morning, her eyes are still closed. Hey, Mom. Did you know that we all have stardust in our stuff? And
no, Tyler.
To a T. And I was like, oh my God. I just woke up.
She's like stirring her coffee, like, dude,
my husband,
kid.
Yes.
Into a child.
And I told him, he goes, wow. He said, but that made me feel so good because she's just intrigued about science. Like, she loves science. And she really absorbed everything he said. And she was so, like, in
passionate
awe
about
of it. And in awe of it, of like, she looks up at the stars now and she's like, can you believe, like, our ancestors are a part of that.
Me and Nova, I was like, wow.
So it's funny because some days it's just like both, I'm like sitting over there and both of them are.
Maybe he should do the nighttime routine so that they can talk. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
to
do science.
No, trust me. Okay, you want to switch?
No.
Are you sure?
No,
like,
no.
I'm
Positive?
not a morning person.
Nope.
Oh, dude.
No.
I feel like for you guys too, like just being together, you don't know any different, right?
Yeah.
Or is it different because you've seen your parents do different
No,
things?
you know where I think that comes from? Have you ever read the book Daughters of Alcoholics?
No.
Read it.
Kail?
Yeah.
Life-changing. And it resonated with me on so many deep levels. So many of those pages, I highlighted everything in that book that really stood out to me and like I could relate to. And I think that children that are raised in alcoholic homes, we just subconsciously take on, and you were the oldest, right?
The only.
Yeah.
Okay. So perfect. You take on all of the roles of like monitoring how your parent is feeling because we don't know how they're going to react. We don't know what kind of state they're going to be in when we are there. They're very unpredictable. So we have to take all of this stuff in and kind of control our environment and make sure everything goes smoothly and nobody freaks out. And I definitely took that into my relationship with Tyler. There was lots of times where he would like joke around and I would take like offense to it. Like, oh,
you would internalize it a lot. And I'm like, whoa.
And the same thing, always asking him, are you, he'd be in a bad mood. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And you're not okay because it's something I did. And it's like
100%.
Yeah. And I was like, do not emotionally monitor me.
That's what we're doing.
I'm your safe. I'm not your mom. I'm not your abuser. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to love you and support you. So please don't emotionally monitor me. It's fine. And I felt like at the time, but I didn't know any of that at first. So I was like, why are you so like paranoid almost? Like, and I was like, what is going on? So and reading, like, you need to like.
And
really
by the way, that book, it's a very easy read.
Yeah.
It's not very
I could probably read it on a plane ride.
Yeah. It's not very like doctory.
Okay.
Or anything. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, because we're going to Spain next week and we're there for 2 weeks. So that flight.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, Lincoln got picked to play soccer to go to Spain. Yeah, so we're gonna go.
God. All right, speaking of like kids, sports. Okay, so how many of your 7 kids are in sports.
Yeah.
So 3 are in sports. 1 is in like other things. So Isaac he's the president of ASL Club.
Okay.
He just auditioned for a play at school, and then he also is in the debate team. So he has like several after school things.
Love it.
Lincoln,
I always want to do the debate team.
well, so it was a little tricky because he showed interest, and then he was sort of confused by it because you have to like learn the rules and like the techniques and the tactics to debate properly and to debate properly. And so he was kind of having a rough time, but I was like, listen, you can ask for your professors or your teachers for help, or you can get a job. Because we're doing one or the other. You're either going to fill your schedule with like academics and things that you can put on a resume, or you're going to go get a job. So it's one or the other. And I think at that point he was like, okay, I'm going to reach out to my teachers and get help. And now he likes it.
Oh, okay, good.
And I love that.
What are the rules in debate club? I thought
there's like certain like verbiage that you use, and there's certain tactics to be able to debate someone like properly.
Okay.
I'm not fully versed on it, so I don't even want to like give improper information.
Right.
But he was like telling me about why it was like he didn't understand it, and I said that's why you got to ask for help. But like if you're not going to fill your schedule with academics and clubs and things like that, then we need to figure out a job. Because you can't go out here at 18 years old and have no skills.
Well, right, and he's not, and he's in 9th grade.
Yeah, so like I just want him to be able to. I want to set him up for the future. And if you're not going to have sports on any sort of like application or resume or something, like you have to have skills from something. And I feel like debate is one of the best ones to have.
Oh God,
I don't know that for sure, but I'm like making it up as I go.
Oh yeah, you would have succeeded in that.
Oh, for sure. And like Isaac reminds me a lot of Tyler. Like
Yeah.
I reached out to you before. Remember when all that? I was like, I want to let you know, as I'm like, you know, people just like
100%.
People have these weird where they'll categorize them, they'll try to do all these
100%.
things, but it's because I honestly feel like, and this is just my belief, but I feel like souls like Isaac are wiser. They may not be in
1000%.
age, but in experience, in wisdom, they just have a way. So, and like I think people. Like they kind of
don't like it.
They don't, and if they can't figure it out, they'll vilify it or they'll like categorize it or label them.
Everything that they stand for, and it like challenges their own insecurities. I feel, and so like Isaac will challenge any. Like if you tell him we're made of stardust, he's gonna figure out why we're made of stardust. Where does that come from? Where did you get to that conclusion? Like he wants to know about God, about religion, about all of the things.
Yep.
He was asking me about insurance the other day, and he was like, "Wait, so it's basically a scam?" And I was like, no, it is.
It is a scam.
He's like, I'm moving to Europe. I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm moving to Europe.
That's what he said. I was like, all right, cool. As long as you can be an interpreter over there, it's fine.
Right.
Lincoln's in basketball and soccer.
Okay.
And then Lux and Creed are in soccer, basketball, wrestling, football.
Oh my God.
Not all at the same time.
They're all during different seasons.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
So Monday through Friday, you're all at practices, right? Because that's
Monday through Friday, Isaac has all of his clubs are 3 days a week. So like 3 days out of the week.
Okay.
And then Lincoln right now he has game and practice once a week, like a game on one day, a practice on another. So he's not in every day yet.
Okay.
Lux and Creed are at a practice almost every single day.
Oh my God.
So
Okay,
it's like Monday through Friday.
So is Elijah going over here and you're going over here?
No.
Right,
Okay.
like how do you juggle it all?
I think that I've confused people about the nanny thing. So like there's this whole controversy online about if I have a nanny and how many nannies I have.
Whoa. What controversy is surrounding a nanny?
Well, there was this huge like uproar about influencers and reality people that have nannies, and I had said like I'm fully transparent when it comes to stuff like that, and so I said I had a nanny. I did have a nanny for a long time, but by nanny, what I meant was I do not have a live-in nanny that helps us 24/7. That's what people they took it and run. And they were like, oh, Kail has a live-in nanny or nannies. No, I have child care provider that comes to my home to watch my babies, the 3 babies.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday from 8 to 4.
Wait, so because I never even knew nannies live with people.
Oh, yeah, so
I always thought nannies, like you said, come clock in, clock out, like during like the hours that parents.
Some people have live-in nannies, and I did try
Those
to
are
go
rich.
Actually, no.
What?
So actually, that's like the more cost-effective. We'll talk about it later. I don't know.
Nanny living in the house is more.
Yes,
that's nice.
An au pair is actually more affordable than a nanny.
How did you find a nanny, Kail, that you trusted?
Yeah, because we struggle with that issue.
Well, so that's the thing. So she comes from 8 to 4. She is literally a saint on this earth, like truly everything. So she's there 8 to 4, but at 4 o'clock she clocks out. She's done.
All right.
We do not have nights. We do not have weekends. And then I'm ripping and running for the sports. Luckily for Isaac, he's in high school, and so he stays after school. I don't have to go pick him up and then bring him back. So it's sort of like, okay, pick him up, drop Lincoln off. Lincoln's at the age where I can start to drop him off. Right. I'll never miss a game if I don't have to. But then Lux and Creed, since they're at the like sort of the same age, a lot of their things are on the same day, and they're all signed up for the same thing.
Sweet.
So I'm at the same location for both of them.
For both the kids. Okay, got it. Yeah.
And so luckily right now, everything's sort of on different, like Lincoln Sports right now are on different days than Lux and Creed's, or they're at a different time.
Got it.
So I can go take the younger ones, then go.
I want to see how fucking crazy your calendar looks.
Oh, I'll send you a picture. When this episode drops, I'll have a picture.
Yeah, because we just have 3 in our... I was like, dude, what?
No, it's chaos, but I don't know what I would do if we were just home, like, and not doing anything. Like, we landed from Disney and I flew here.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't even have 24 hours at home before I was already on another plane and ready to go.
You keep saying all these... you keep saying all these random things that people think I got a nanny. People think I got a nanny controversy. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
The hate stands out and is so loud, and I hate it. Like, it drives me crazy because
It does, because you've said multiple things. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just feel like...
if I clear it up enough, it'll go away, but it seems like I clear it up and it doesn't go away. So I don't even know why I do it, but...
No, I kind of agree with that, because even when she's gotten... we talked about the other day about how she got all this hate for, her mental health and, like, all this stuff that she went through. And it's like, dude, if you knew Kate at all, you would know. Like, if you don't like her, something's wrong with you. I have to tell you that, because I'm telling you, like, I don't know. She wouldn't hurt a fucking fly. So I'm like,
I would probably try to save the fly, and I would heal its wing and let him, teach him how to fly again. Yes.
So, and she's like like, I don't even like to refer to her as a nanny but I also don't know how to, like, because she's not really like a mom to me, but she is family to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How long have you had her?
She's only actually been working for me for about a year, but I've known her for like, I've probably known her for like 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Like, I've known her for a really, like, she was family to me before she worked for me.
Okay, right.
So how does someone go about, how did you find this person? I think that's something me and Ty struggle with, is I don't trust anybody with my kids.
I'll tell you about an agency that I went through first before I got my... I don't like to call her a nanny because she's like family, but
we gotta figure out a comfortable term for her that you like. Like, I don't even know.
We call
my helper, my babysitter, my
well, the kids call her Tata because that's like,
so call her Tata.
Like, sort of like a grandmother.
Yeah,
she's Tata.
Yeah, she's Tata.
Okay, and how did you meet Tata?
I was friends with her stepson for a really long time, and then her husband started working for me, like doing handiwork around the house, lawn work, stuff like that. Yeah. He was like my handy guy, but then he became literally like a dad to me, and then became like a grandfather to my children. So, and then when his wife came over from Puerto Rico, that was how.
So it ended up being more like a friend of
like
the family.
Yeah, falling into that role.
I need to find one of those.
But I absolutely love her because she only speaks Spanish too. So my kids are learning Spanish.
Oh,
and then,
awesome!
She has a daughter that's the same age as Rio. So like they like hang out.
Yeah,
because that's something Ty and I struggle with. It's like I don't trust anybody with my kids.
No, and I would trust her more than I would trust half the people that I am with all the time.
And like, people don't really get it. They'll be like, oh, come out. And it's like, dude, I can't. Like, we'll find a babysitter. I'm like, I don't have one. Our parents are shit.
And like you said, they need weeks of notice. I can't just say, hey, can you watch all 3 of my kids tonight? They're like,
I have a lot of kids. And like, the thing is that I don't leave Lux and Creed with anyone anymore. Like, I used to have a nanny for them, but I don't leave them with anyone. So if Lux and Creed are not with Chris, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Right.
Count me out. I definitely trust Tata with them, but I don't put them on her either.
Okay. No, right. But you had a nanny before Tata. So and how long did you have that nanny for?
3 years.
Okay.
So
and did you like that experience? Like, how did you get that one?
Also fell into my lap. So I went to college with her son.
Got it.
Needed a cleaning person. She had a cleaning business, so she used to clean my house, and then she was laid off from her job. I hired her as a nanny, like a full-time nanny. She didn't live with me or anything.
Yeah.
But like full-time, I mean like childcare hours.
Right.
I think that one was like 7 to 3.
So she still got to clock in, clock out. Yeah.
100%. And then that was a really traumatic falling out that I haven't really talked about yet. So it's just like it was like a long story, and I don't think that either one of us ever really got full closure on that.
Okay. Oh, that's crappy.
And so it was a very public situation.
Oh, it was? Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So the experience for 2 out of the 3 years, I think, was really good.
It's funny because you're like, the cleaning, I'm like, we need things. Where's our cleaning lady?
I know.
I want a cleaning lady.
I'm overly stressed all the time.
We had a cleaning lady for like a little bit, and we got so like, we felt so shameful for some reason.
I would leave.
Like, why? Yeah, we'd be like, oh, whoa, we gotta get out of here.
We're leaving. I would leave and take the kids.
I do prefer to leave when my house is being cleaned.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't want to just sit there and watch you clean my house.
It feels like
weird.
Yeah, I feel shameful. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, let me move that for you. And they're like, no, it's my job. I'm like, oh, sorry. I gotta get out of here. I can't. Dude.
No, I feel like I've gotten really lucky with childcare.
And cleaning lady. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Damn, we gotta. What are we
I need
doing?
someone to fall into my life.
Please reach out.
No, don't.
Resources.
You're like,
no.
Actually, don't reach out. We don't trust you. We're
Yeah,
gonna go
actually
through
don't.
The agency, they're like certified. They're like CPR certified.
Right,
They have
that's
all
a
these
good thing.
credentials. They have like, there's like things that they
Yes.
have to go through. So I would definitely
Because I
recommend
did
the agency
something.
We got
over.
so close.
I did something on like care.com.
Yeah, don't do that. I did that too. That was a big
See, and I paid for some other things, and then eventually I just had this weird feeling about it. And I
Do
was like,
your
I can't.
friends sign NDAs?
No.
No.
Does anyone that comes into your life sign an NDA?
No, hell no.
Sign an NDA now?
No.
Like if you don't sign an NDA, we can't be friends. Except for Becky, she's proved her loyalty. I don't need an NDA from her.
Listen, if I need an NDA, I don't want you around me.
True.
But I just feel like you don't know until shit hits the fan.
That's why I don't. That's why no new friends.
No, then if this shit
No
hits,
new friends here.
If this shit hits a fan, we're gonna do this all publicly, bitch. We'll go all out. We'll just do it all. We'll put it all out there.
Yeah.
Really?
Really. You feel the need for NDAs.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've been fucked over by friends or whatever you want to call it. Is that what it, I mean?
Well, so many people actually. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm innocent, right? Like I've definitely had a hand in like whatever the fallout was, but to go publicly is like next level because truly how my personal life is my business, unfortunately.
Right.
It's such like a weird, and so if you fuck with my business, my life, my personal life, you're actually affecting the way I'm able to provide for my children.
So how do you
100%.
separate that? How do you?
Can't.
Because we've adopted this kind of lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? Like team. I mean, it is.
And so that's
it's-
like part of the reason why V and I went our separate ways because she didn't want to talk about co-parenting. And I'm like, but that is my livelihood. Like that's how I've built everything that I've built is through my personal life. My personal life is my business.
I guess. Now, are you and Joe like? Do you guys talk?
We try not to.
Oh, you try
Really?
not to. Okay,
Really?
and is that just because you guys just?
We just don't. We don't see eye to eye on.
Okay.
We have the same end goal.
Okay,
But
right.
getting there is never the same.
Okay.
Like we clash so hard, and it's no shade to him. I think that he
Right.
just has a very different way. That
Right, like you guys
delivery,
approach.
different
Yeah,
delivery.
yeah.
I just it's upsetting because Kail's always the problem. You know what I mean? Like
I
I'm
can
always
see. When
the
that's
problem.
not factual.
And of course, I've had my hand.
We
done
all
better.
do, but I'm
I've
just
done-
saying. But I'm just
Nobody's
saying.
perfect,
Right. But I'm just saying.
to get 100% of the blame all the time.
Right.
is it's exhausting.
It is.
Well, and the only way to
that's what I
clear
meant.
anything up is just to be transparent and be like, this is what really happened.
But
and
it
this is what's
sucks
going
because
on.
I can kind of feel like I've seen, obviously people talk shit all the time, and I've seen some of those things, and it's like, I feel like what I'm hearing from you is that even when you do explain and you're being truthful and you're telling the truth, people still say, oh, she's lying. They don't believe you,
Yeah.
even though you're like, well, and then eventually you have to get to a point where like I do, and I'm like, well, believe whatever the fuck you want to
That's
believe.
where I'm
then.
at now.
I said what I
Because
said.
I know my
Yep.
worth. I know who I am as a person. I sleep great at night, and because I know, like who cares?
And not even like the nitty gritty details. I think there's a way to talk about things without actually explaining what the actual issue was, right?
Yeah, there
Like,
is. It's as sad as it is. A lot of people do struggle with that. And I think, it's sad, but I completely see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Well, all you can do is just, here's what happened, move forward, whatever, it is what it is.
Well, I definitely had more questions that I want to ask you, but I'll save that
We
for
could
a
do a
different
part two.
time.
We'll do part two.
I will save that for
Yeah.
a different time.
Part two, stay tuned.
Hey.
Blue Monkey.
No, but I mean, obviously, me and Kate adore you, and we just thank you
Well,
so
I love
much
you back.
for letting us do this and just helping us. And
of course. Anything y'all need, I'm here. Me, Kristen, Alessandra, Becky.
Yeah, you guys
all
are
of
all
us.
great.
Chandler's great.
Yeah.
So anything you need, I'm here.
And I think it's good. We're all a little team, and
Little
we're all
fam.
just gonna. We're all. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
And that's fun. And that means,
level each other up.
and that just means I get to see you more.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
I'm excited for that. We're
I
gonna
know,
have
me
good
too.
times. The kids are
Yeah.
gonna be out here like fucking colluding against us.
I
I'm
love it.
scared.
Well, thanks, Kail.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for coming on
having
Kate
me.
and Ty break it down.
Yeah.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. That means laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like The Neighborhood, Boomerang, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller.
Mystery is free with countless cases to crack from Criminal Minds, Tracker, and Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
And thrills are free with heart-pumping hits like The Walking Dead and Pulp Fiction.
Correctamundo.
Feel the free Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.